The celestial Zenith Hotel floated in geostationary orbit above Earth, a monument to interstellar diplomacy and luxury. Its crystal spires caught the light of distant stars, refracting them into prismatic displays that welcomed delegates from 100 worlds. Tonight, however, the hotel's legendary hospitality faced an unprecedented challenge. Hazel stepped into the main concourse, her maintenance tablet clutched against her chest. At 19, she was the youngest member of the engineering team, often relegated to minor repairs and system diagnostics. The chaos before her made her pause mid-stride. A crowd had formed near the reception desk, a bizarre assembly of aliens and humans all gesturing frantically. At the center stood a being unlike any Hazel had seen in her 2 years aboard the station. The creature resembled flowing water given form, its body shifting through colors that didn't quite exist in Earth's visible spectrum. Crystalline protrusions emerged and dissolved across its surface, each one pulsing with bioluminescent patterns. "The translator's completely useless," muttered Leo, the hotel's assistant manager, as he pushed through the crowd toward Hazel. His usually immaculate uniform was disheveled, his dark hair falling across his forehead. "Every species translator is returning gibberish. The Korati think it's speaking ancient poetry. The Zenthorians claim it's mathematical equations. The AI says it's music." Hazel watched as a Korati diplomat attempted communication through interpretive dance, their 6 limbs creating elaborate patterns. The exotic visitor responded by shifting its entire body into a geometric configuration that hurt to look at directly. "What do we know about it?" Hazel asked. Leo consulted his datapad. "Nothing. It arrived on an unscheduled transport. No identification. No species records in any database. For all we know, it could be the first of its kind to make contact with the wider galaxy." He ran a hand through his hair, a gesture Hazel recognized as his tell for stress. "The thing is, it seems distressed. Look at those color shifts, they're getting more erratic." Hazel observed the visitor carefully. Leo was right. What had been rhythmic pulses were now chaotic flashes. The creature's form was becoming less stable, portions of it seeming to evaporate before reconstituting. "Has anyone tried not using translators?" Hazel asked. "What?" Leo turned to her, confusion evident on his face. "Translators work on known language structures. If this being's communication is something entirely new. Double quotes." Hazel trailed off, moving closer to the visitor. The crowd parted for her, perhaps sensing purpose in her movement. She stood before the exotic alien, close enough to feel the strange temperature fluctuations emanating from its form. Warm, then cold, then warm again. The patterns weren't random, she realized. They were consistent. Hazel closed her eyes. Temperature, color, sound. Yes, there was sound, but not words. A deep thrumming that resonated in her chest. She felt the vibrations travel through her bones. The warmth on her skin came in waves that matched the thrumming. "It's not speaking," Hazel said softly. "It's feeling." She opened her eyes and looked at the visitor. Really looked. The color shifts corresponded with the temperature changes. Blue when cold, red when warm, and those impossible in-between shades when both occurred simultaneously. The crystalline protrusions weren't random either, they formed where the temperature differentiated most dramatically. Hazel understood with sudden clarity. This being didn't communicate through language or mathematics or even conventional signals. It communicated through sensation, a synesthetic blend of thermal, visual, and vibrational expression that created emotional meaning. She raised her hand slowly, letting it hover near the visitor's surface. The being pulsed orange curiosity, perhaps. Hazel felt the warmth increase slightly, inviting. She touched it. The sensation was electric, not painful, but intensely vivid. She felt loneliness profound, aching isolation, confusion, fear, but also hope, desperate and fragile. Hazel withdrew her hand and turned to Leo. "It needs help. It's lost and scared. I think it's trying to find someone." "How did you?" Leo started, but Hazel was already moving. She pulled up the hotel's guest registry on her tablet, then cross-referenced it with recent arrivals. What if it's not here by accident? What if someone was expecting it? Her fingers flew across the screen. They're a booking made 3 months ago for a suite on the observation deck. The guest, Dr. Yara Singh, xenobiologist specializing in first contact protocols and non-traditional communication forms. Level 97, Hazel said. Suite 9701. Leo immediately opened communications. Dr. Singh, this is Assistant Manager Leo Reeves. We have a situation in the main concourse that requires your immediate. I'm already on my way down. A woman's voice crackled through the comm. Is it here? Please tell me it's here. 3 minutes later, Dr. Singh emerged from the elevator at a run. She was a small woman with silver-streaked hair and eyes that shone with tears. When she saw the exotic visitor, she stopped, pressing both hands to her mouth. The visitor's form exploded with color yellows and pinks and shades that made Hazel's eyes water. The temperature spiked warm, almost hot. The thrumming sound became something like music. Dr. Singh approached slowly, reverently. She placed her palm against the visitor's surface, and for a moment, both beings seemed to glow. 20 years, Dr. Singh whispered. 20 years since we first made contact on Kepler for 4 to be. 20 years since I promised I'd find a way for us to meet again. She looked at Hazel, tears streaming down her face. How did you know? How did you understand? Hazel shrugged, suddenly embarrassed by the attention of the entire concourse. I just listened. Differently, Leo stepped forward, his professional composure restored. Dr. Singh, we'll upgrade you to the Grand Ambassador suite. No charge. I think you and your friend have a lot of catching up to do. As the crowd dispersed and Dr. Singh led her exotic companion toward the elevators, Leo turned to Hazel. That was remarkable. The translators, the AI, the diplomats with centuries of experience, they all failed. But you humans have this thing, Hazel said, watching the elevator doors close on the reunited friends. We're adaptable. We don't just rely on our technology or our protocols. Sometimes we just feel our way through. Leo smiled. Humanity? Fuck yeah. Hazel laughed, the sound bright in the now quiet concourse. Somewhere above them, in a suite overlooking Earth and stars, a friendship that transcended language was being rekindled. And in the engineering bay, Hazel's tablet beeped with a new work order, a minor repair that could wait. Tonight, being human had been enough.